Welcome to Product Chronicles, the channel where we resurrect software products that deserved better, or at least deserve to be killed with a bit more dignity. In this episode, we are digging into Google Allo, the chat app so unnecessary even Google forgot existed when it was still running. Google Allo was born with grand ambitions and a name that literally means hello, but in hindsight it might as well have meant goodbye. Launched in 2016 amid Google's quest to finally build a successful messaging app, Allo's life was short and full of lessons for product managers everywhere. This is the tragicomic story of Google Allo's rise and fall, a tale of lofty vision, messy execution, internal talk wars, and a product that inevitably ended up in the Google product graveyard. Allo was one of Google's many attempts to finally get messaging right. It was pitched as a fresh start, a mobile chat app infused with AI smarts. But, spoiler alert, even a built-in Google Assistant couldn't save Allo from its fate. Within 2 years, Google had to concede defeat, pausing Allo's development and eventually killing the app outright. In this chronicle, we'll explore Allo's original product vision and features, peek behind the scenes and the organizational dynamics and decision-making, analyze what went wrong, compare Allo to Google's other messaging misadventures, and glean a few hard-earned lessons from a PM perspective. Google didn't position Allo as just another chat app, it was touted as a next evolution of messaging. Nick Fox, Google's VP of Communications, declared that we were on the cusp of messaging version 2, where conversations would become richer, more expressive, and actually help you get things done. The core idea was bold: integrate Google's AI assistant directly into a messaging app, so you could not only talk to friends but also with Google, all in one thread. Why pause a group chat to check a flight status or look up a restaurant when you could have Google Smarts drop the info right into the chat? Allo's slogan might as well have been "Message, Express and Accomplish" without ever leaving the conversation. Beyond the AI angle, Allo's product team envisions a modern mobile-first messenger to rival WhatsApp and iMessage. It would be tied to your phone number for quick onboarding. It would be fast, fun and smart. Google's blog proudly announced Allo as a smart messaging app that helps you say more and do more in chat. In essence, Allo was meant to showcase Google's machine learning prowess in a consumer product, a chat app that could anticipate replies, suggest information and learn your style over time. To deliver on this vision, Allo packed a bundle of features, and the first one was Google Assistant integration. Allo was the launch vehicle for Google Assistant's debut. Every user first chat was actually with the Assistant, a built-in virtual friend ready to answer questions or fetch info like weather, news or restaurant recommendations right inside your conversation. By typing @Google in a chat, you could summon Assistant to fetch information for everyone. This was Allo's big differentiator. Your conversation could have a built-in Google concierge on call. Then Smart Reply, drawing on Google's machine learning, Allo could suggest reply options for you, from a quick "yup" to an "oh cute" when someone sent a puppy photo. Over time, it would learn whether you are more of a haha or an LOL person and tailor suggestions accordingly. Then Whisper or Shout. To make chats more expressive, Allo introduced a novelty called Whisper Shout. Instead of using all caps or tiny text to convey tone, you could side a toggle to change the text size of your message before sending. Make it huge to shout or small to whisper, a cute UI trick to add nuance. Stickers and selfie images. It wouldn't be a modern messaging app without stickers. Allo launched with dozens of sticker packs and later added selfie stickers, which turned your selfie into personalized cartoon sticker packs. In other words, you could plaster your chats with cartoon versions of your own face. Incognito mode. With encryption, for the privacy conscious, Allo offered an optional incognito chat mode featuring end-to-end encryption, expiring messages and discrete notifications. This was powered by the Signal protocol, like WhatsApp's encryption. But notably, Allo did not encrypt messages by default outside incognito. On paper, Allo's feature list looked impressive, a Frankenstein of messaging ideas that earned some positive press. It was free, fun, and backed by Google's massive resources. What could go wrong? Well, about that,
big mistake.
To understand Allo's downfall, we need to peek behind the Google's curtain. Allo wasn't built in a vacuum, it was born into Google's already massive family of messaging apps. The internal dynamics were, in a word, chaotic. By 2016, Google's previous chat platform, Hangouts, had become a lost cause for consumers and was being refocused on enterprise use, leaving a void that Allo was meant to fill. The Allo project was led by Google's communications products group. The mandate from up top was essentially build something new and exciting enough to actually win users back to Google for messaging. Of course, fresh start meant yet another app in Google's already crowded lineup. Google has a habit of placing multiple bets on similar products. By 2016, it had Hangouts, the Messenger SMS app, Duo for video, each with overlapping roles. Allo's team deliberately did not integrate with SMS or Hangouts, arguing they were building for 2020, not 2010, means leaving old-fashioned texting behind. It was a bold strategy that assumed users would happily switch to a brand new platform outright. In hindsight, this decision was a major flaw, though at the time Google framed it as being forward-looking. Crucially, Google didn't make Allo the default Android messaging app. That remained the separate SMS app. Getting carriers and OEMs to agree to replace SMS with Allo would have been difficult, so Allo launched as an optional download rather than a built-in service. Unlike Message on iPhones, Allo had no guaranteed user base. It had to claw its way up from zero, a huge challenge.
Wow, that is really hard.
Allo launched in late 2016 amid heavy promotion of its AI-powered features. It reached around 10 million installs in the first few months, a decent start, though nowhere close to WhatsApp scales. Reviews were mixed. The app's fun trick impressed some users, but there were also immediate red flags. Tech-savvy users quickly realized Allo's limitations. Perhaps the biggest issue, Allo only worked on one device, your phone, and had no desktop or multi-device support at launch. In an era when even WhatsApp web existed and Hangouts had multi-device sync, this single-device restriction fell backwards. Google added a web client in 2017, but it was too late to matter. Also problematic, Allo had no SMS integration. If your friends weren't on Allo, you couldn't seamlessly chat with them, unlike Hangouts, which supported SMS. Allo required everyone to install it, a nearly impossible ask. This huge network effect hurdle was obvious from day one. On the privacy front, remember that optional incognito mode. That was the only way to have truly private end-to-end encrypted chats. By default, Allo messages were stored on Google's servers indefinitely for the assistant to analyze. When these facts surfaced, privacy advocates pounced. NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden even warned that Google's decision to disable end-to-end encryption by default in Allo was dangerous and urged people to avoid the app. That kind of PR nightmare, combined with the specter of Google stockpiling all your chats, made privacy-conscious users understandably worry. Finally, the market was already locked up by bigger players. By 2016, most people were firmly attached to WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, iMessage or WeChat. Allo offered no must-have advantage to break those network effects. Google's past fickleness with messaging also made would-be users skeptical. Many suspected that Allo might not be long for this world. Allo peaked around 10 million installs in its first months and never even reached 50 million users total, tiny compared to the billions on rival platforms. Allo tried hard to be fun and expressive. It introduced many sticker packs and even let users turn selfies into custom sticker avatars. Unfortunately, quick stickers alone weren't enough to lure users away from their entrenched chat platforms.
Love me. Love me. Love me. Love me!
In January 2018, Amit Fillet, Allo's head of product, left Google to join Facebook, a bad omen. A few months later, Google's new communications chief, Anil Safarwal, announced that Allo's development was being paused and the team would shift focus to Android messages. In other words, Google considered that Allo wasn't working out. Instead, the company pivoted to a different strategy, pushing the RCS chat standards through the Android Messages app. Google effectively gave up on competing directly with WhatsApp or Messenger and decided to improve good old texting instead. In December 2018, Google confirmed Allo would be shut down entirely the following year. The app was discontinued in March 2019, about 2.5 years after launch. Users were given tools to export their chat histories and were gently nudged to move over to Google's Messages app. Allo's death did not go unnoticed. Tech observers had a field day pointing out how yet another Google Chat experiment had fallen flat. Allo became a punchline for Google's messaging mess. Even Google's own leadership admitted that Allo just wasn't worth further investment since it didn't provide a truly better user experience. In the end, Google consolidated its strategy to just two services: Android Messages for consumers and Google Chat for businesses.
I am done! I don't deserve this! I really do not deserve this! I deserve somebody who gives a shit!
Google Allo saga offers several valuable lessons for product folks. First, leverage your platform. Google launched Allo as a standalone app with no built-in user base, instead of integrating it into Android or Gmail to instantly reach millions. Especially for a messaging product, bootstrapping a network from scratch is brutally hard. If you have an ecosystem advantage, use it. Allo's failure to leverage Google's platform meant it never had a fighting chance. Then, network effects require strategy. No matter how many features you pack in, a communication app lives or dies by network effects. Allo needed a growth strategy to acquire users rapidly. Lacking SMS support or other bridges was a strategic mistake that stunted its growth from day one. Product managers must plan early how to seed and grow a user network. Build it and they will come simply doesn't apply when your friends won't switch. Focus and coherence. Avoid internal turf wars. Allo's story shows the danger of competing with your own company. Google would have been better off focusing on one great messaging app instead of splitting efforts across Allo, Hangouts, Messages, and so on. Fragmented teams and visions lead to fragmented products. A clear, unified strategy is crucial, otherwise your own products can sabotage each other. Privacy and commitments. Users entrust messaging apps with their personal conversations. You have to earn their trust. Allo's choice to store chats on Google's servers by default to enable AI features, and Google's history to abrupt product shutdowns both undermines user confidence. The lesson for PMs: prioritize privacy, or at least be very transparent about data use and signal a long-term commitment to your product. If users suspect your app might expose their data or get killed soon, they will hesitate to invest in it. In hindsight, Google Allo was a bold experiment that became a cautionary tale. It had plenty of innovative spark, just not the kind of fire needed to survive in the cutthroat messaging arena. The rise and fall of Allo shows that even tech giants can stumble when product strategy, user needs, and market reality don't align. For those of us building products, it's a sharp reminder that great technology isn't enough. You also need the right strategy, focus, and trust to truly say hello to success. That was Google Allo, a messaging app with no message, no market, and no memory. If you enjoyed the teardown, subscribe to Product Chronicles for more product postmortems that blend strategy and just enough drama to keep you doubting your own backlog. Hit like, drop a comment about your favorite Google messaging failure. I know there are plenty, and I will see you in the next episode.